Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. We might be dumping. We are going a bit red, aren't we, baby dolls? Bitcoin is sitting at around 105, 106,000 American dollars. Come and check out this weekly chart, though. It's sticking around 106. Remember, we have James Wynn. James Wynn's liquidation is getting closer and closer. I'm actually going to come up and show you the live chart here right now. He has a lot of leverage on. He had a $40 million position and he's actually sold a bit of it now. This is his live position now. He's down 2.2 million. So he was up 2.2 million. Now he's down 2.2 million. Here are his live positions out here. His liquidation is about 104,000 because he's selling it as it goes down, which is, yeah, pretty much expected. But it gets it to see, friends. I'm going to just show you right now, but pretty much if he's swing trading, right? I know we're bullish on crypto and everything out here, but when you have extreme leverage, you can get pinged out very easily. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you just a daily chart of BTC with the with my super trend up here. So there you go. Actually, see this, friends. We'll be talking about it yesterday. I'm like, dude, we know how this game ends. You're just too close, bro. You're way too close. So here he is right now, but we'll actually change it now. His new liquidation is around 104, so he's probably going to keep selling it as it goes down. We'll just move these down to 104 around here. So I wonder if it's going to come for him again. I just want to show you something as well. Around this zone, friends, around this zone, I think blockchain backer said, well, now we made this little lower high. It is possible we do one more stab down here. 99, 98, just like one more final thing. And then there will probably be some fear doom event. That's right, Israel, Iran, someone bombs somebody, whatever it is, okay? Whatever programming of the universe appears, don't cheat, don't sell. Yes, I know it's frustrating. I want everything to go up. But I'm just here, just to warn you ahead of time. Just in case we do get some skits action like that, because we're pretty much just ranging around. But ultimately, we're still very bullish. That's the most important part here. We are still bullish. Just, wish it would happen already, man. We're waiting forever. This is the BTC monthly chart out here. We're still ticking and ticking up. It's towards its highest monthly close in history, which is wonderful to see. We have Ethereum continuing to show strength, right? But it's only strong because it was like super weak. That's pretty much it, okay? We really want to see the Ethereum chart as well. We'll come back and look at the monthly chart for the ETH-BTC ratio. It's around 0.025. There's not really much else you can do here except we got to wait. Now, because we aren't in the full-blown euphoria phase, we aren't going to see a disconnection of Ethereum to the upside yet. All right, so I'm just here to temper expectations. So even though Ethereum's strong, and this is its weekly chart, okay, so pretty much we can identify it now. Whenever Ethereum gets sold off, it's because Bitcoin's stalling. That's why. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like where you kind of know if Bitcoin is just ready to burst, this thing eventually clears up. There's some big whales who put on some big shorts on Hyperliquid. One guy's got $100 million short on Ethereum, but everyone's just trading and doing their own thing. Who cares? This is the Bitcoin dominance. Extreme warning signs on it. Still waiting and waiting and waiting forever out here. Right? I'm still very happy. Ben Copen's calling for 70% Bitcoin dominance. Willy Woo's calling for 90% Bitcoin dominance. I like that. I'll take the other side of that. I'm happy to stay long and strong and still believe in the business cycle eventually turning up. This is the OTHERS-btc ratio. It's still back to pretty much garbage. We've round-tripped 8 years of gains. Just to show you, friends, the markets, they do this, man. It is what it is, man. We just didn't expect this, but we got it. Okay, so the market is irrational. Yeah, but, we can't do anything about that. Irrational market. You have pretty much erased all altcoin gains for 8 years. That's how devastating the damage is. That's what markets do, though, right? They go way below the mean, and then hopefully we get way above the mean. Okay, hopefully we get that. That's usually what they do. But what would way above the mean be? I really hope we go towards up here, like, 0.6 or 0.7 of this OTHERS-btc ratio. If you want to know what exactly that is, this would basically mean the average altcoin does about a 5x on Bitcoin from here. So if Bitcoin goes from 100 to 250, okay, around there, that means you do about 5 times 2.5. It's around 10 to 12x, And then some altcoins, so that's what this actually represents, right? But firstly, you need Bitcoin 250, And some altcoins will have a multiplier on top of that. So they won't do like around a 10. They might do a 20. you know. So for example, PulseChain, it did a 2 multiplier on others in 2024. I tracked it and I checked. That was all PulseChain, PulseX, Hex if you just put them onto one coin. So maybe that happens again, right? Maybe it does it. Hopefully it does way more than 20 from here. So I'm just giving a rough example of like, you know, yes, we expect huge slingshot upside, but still going to take some time. Now, friends, the SOL-eth ratio has now pretty much, it's confirming red here, showing you why. This is, remember, SOI-eth going down means SOI is weak and Ethereum is strong, okay? So you always look at the one in front for the direction, okay? Don't worry about this thing. Just look at the one in front. So this is SOL up and then SOL down. So SOL's flipped red, but you think, okay, what's it flipped red against? You go Ethereum. So, you know, SOL weak, Ethereum strong. Remember, they're relative ratios, yeah? So as the market plays out, we'll cover more of this. I just want to quickly, let's crack on to the news, friends. So scum mainstream crypto media, they are falsely reporting that there is a record number of Ethereum longs right now. All right, so pretty much they're fudding Ethereum as it goes up. So I'm thinking, oh, that's very interesting. Do I sense a bit of hated disbelief rally strength coming? Yes, I do sense it. That's exactly what you want to see in the universe. Where I just showed you Ethereum's price action, the candles are going up, undeniable, right? It's going up, it's grinding up. And you know the CME target, the gap target, is 3,200 American dollars. So this is Ethereum on the daily, but you know it's right up here, right? So their biggest highest volume node is around 3,200, 3,000 here. They're all short, right? They start pinging themselves out up there. So I found it fascinating that Glass Chode and just lots of these general scum mainstream crypto. Should I really call them scum? Yeah, we'll call them scum. Just scum mainstream crypto. You know why? Because they charge thousands of dollars for their services. They take sponsorship money. So yeah, I mean, like you can all suck a fat one. You're all collecting money and you're feeding everybody filthy lies and trash. Okay, highest value content in crypto is right here. Thank you for liking and subscribing, friends. Don't forget who loves you. That's me. Appreciate every single one of you. So it's most likely because they are all turbo leverage long on Bitcoin and Solana. Friends, I've been in markets. My gosh, it's been a long time, bro. 15 years. Trust me, I just know how the thing works, okay? I'm here 18 hours a day. I've been in crypto since 2018, however many years that's been. So I can just sense it. That's it. You know, so friends, other people gifted, you know, they can look at a car, they can tell you exactly what's wrong with it in 2 seconds. Other people can look at a wall, they know if it's been modified, they know what they need to do. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their own talents out here. Some people, you know, are really good. Maybe they're, you know, good at fixing you up health-wise, you know? With me, I'm just here markets 18 hours a day. That's it, man. I'm just literally just tapped in. The antenna is pointing out. I don't have to trust me. It's just like the sky is blue and your heart is beating right now. Unless you're AI, okay? I'm telling you, they're all short on Ethereum, okay? They're all short. They're all underexposed. If they were long, you would not be seeing junk articles like that, okay? So I already showed you, it's kind of funny. They're in total complacency mode around SOI-eth. So here's the thing, friends. SOI-eth ratio that I just showed you, it doesn't, just because everybody's like, you know, turbo long on it, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to go down. All it just means is if the narrative attention drifts away from Solana to Ethereum to something else, anything else, these weak hand cucks will unwind very fast and aggressive because that's what happens when you go on for a long period of time. You get weak hands, yeah. You get non-believers in, and the longer the uptrend is going, the more non-believers you are getting in, the more of them are coming because they're like, oh, Ethereum's bad, Arbitrum's bad, PulseChain's bad, Bitcoin's bad. Not Bitcoin, right? They're still sucking off Bitcoin. They say, oh, everything else is bad. I have to get into this. There's adoption, you know, because they're seeing, friends, they're seeing Raul Powell talking about it, okay? They're seeing Ivan talk about it. They're seeing crypto bands are just, oh, Solana. I like the Solana. Everybody likes this Solana. That's all they say all day, Solana. All day, and right under their noses, okay, this thing is like literally going down, okay. And by the way, friends, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen if this thing goes down? Okay, what's your friend Simon going to be saying? I'm going to be saying, look, bro, you had 3 chances to get out. The US freaking president, bro, launched a coin on the chain, and you still rejected the ratio. Okay, so you literally had 3 signs. There's no excuses at this point. So that's what makes... See, Bitcoin dominance and SOL-eth ratio, they've both been tremendously strong. The unwind in them will be tremendously damaging because they've gone on for so long. That's what when they eventually do. But you don't know if they're going to happen right now. They don't have to. I'm just telling you, on average, if you are running into stuff like this, you're going to get destroyed. There will be something you enter in the next 1 to 10 years, markets in the world, where you're buying an intergalactic universal top. Okay, so it's all about the mindset, friends. You're looking for asymmetric upside. Remember, you don't want to be betting on the favorites. Betting on the favorites, you're going to get wrecked. Yeah, you're getting a 1 cent payout. You're picking up pennies in front of freight chains. That's pretty much it. I've actually got a chart here to show you the record interest as well. This is Ethereum futures open margin interest. Okay, now the thing is, this is hilarious, friends. So you're probably wondering something like, here's the thing. Okay, when there's open interest, it's record number of longs and shorts. Okay, interest just means how many people are willing to take a position. Okay, that's what it means. How many people are willing to take a position? That's what it is. Now, it gets pretty hard, right? Because sometimes, you know, open interest, the price is going up, open interest is going up, or the price can be down and the open interest is going up. Okay, it can do that. But when everybody is stacked on one side, they are primed to get wrecked. So as you can see, look what happened. Open interest was up here, and then we got manipulated down. They had a lot to scam us down, okay? But now it's record number of open interest on the way up. Here's the thing, though, okay? So, you know markets, friends. People aren't fading stuff, okay? Otherwise, the price wouldn't move here. So when you see Bitcoin dominance is up, Ethereum dominance is down, and we see ETH-BTC ratio this bad, okay? When you see it like this, the crowd is not fading it, okay? They're going with it. Yes, you know this. What are weak hands doing? Yes, weak hands are buying highs and selling those. Okay, Ethereum has just been going lower. What do you think they've been doing? Selling those. Yes, selling those on leverage. And we actually know this. The CME gap, $3,000 is that point of interest. You'll see. So you'll basically you'll see it get proven. Okay, when Ethereum cracks this 3K price, we're probably going to see some fireworks. Yeah. But you don't know what it's going to be, because sometimes, friends, what happens is it might hit the zone, and then you mark my words, okay? Mark these words, and I am a state-of-the-art panda bear in disguise, okay? You will see big leverage shorters, like maybe on Hyperliquid, because it's decentralized. You will see them add to their position up here, and they will try rescue their short. So you might see it up here, and you're going to see them add. They're going to deposit more money, collateral, and they're going to add to the short. They're going to try to defend it. And you never know. It might do something like, oh no, and then like comes back. Okay? It might do something like that, but it just depends, okay? But it's going to blow, and then just literally blows. Just got to get all of them out. All of them got to get out. That's what it does, okay? Remember, shorting crypto, man, dangerous. But here's the thing, right? We have to still wait for that scenario to play out. And like, I don't know, I'll just feel people. Just don't ask me about all this. So you might say, oh, something like, if you know this has happened, why aren't you long? We are long. We're turbo leverage long. We're long on all the slingshot leverage on Ethereum. And these things are unique setups, and they're not really worth it. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to go sell an altcoin, convert it into USDC, right? Or leave it in ETH, for example, and then maybe leverage trade something out here, one trade? Not worth it, bro. Not worth it, because you never know. Maybe that takes 6 weeks to play out for Ethereum to do the spike up. And in that moment of time, bro, like for example, just give you an example, pDAI could be up like 3x back to 1 cent from that point. Right, so you spend all that money, all that stress, and then the thing you just left is up, you know? So that's why it's still not necessarily worth it. Like, if you're a trader, you're doing it every day, that's what you should be looking at, okay? I want to show you, friends, MantraDao. MantraDao is obviously falling off a cliff. I made a video mention of it yesterday. Literally, man, it's down 96, 97%. This thing is like way too low. This looks like the crashing structure of Solana. With Solana at the bottom. What I'll do now, friends, is I'll actually show it to you. And this is it right now. This is Solana on the daily chart. See, friends, remember I told you see that weird structure? This is what it looks like right here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just show you. This is what it actually looked like. I'm just going to do this. So you see this comes down. It just like goes down forever. Tick, 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 bang. And it does something like that. Well, I wonder if is doing something like that, right? I wonder if it's, I'll just post it here so you can see for friendship and kindness. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if this is what it's actually doing. What I'll do is as well, we can make it some very nice transparency. So we can see this out here. Now you can see this. Kind of funny. Isn't this funny? This is funny. It's doing this. It's like tick, 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 tick. It's like forming. It's like little ticky, ticky, ticky thing down and then it might snap up. Okay, it might do something like that. Just to let you know, I did some research because it meant that when something's down 96, 97%, and I've checked the thing, and it wasn't the team selling, it was just leverage. OKEx hunted a big leverage guy on their own exchange. They basically, the exchange sold and dumped on him, and then that cascaded an enormous amount of liquidations and markets across everywhere, and it just literally wiped everything out. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? It looks like the Solana, the chart pattern at the bottom, which is what happens. You never know. So it's like literally syncing in real time here. What I'll do now, I'll put it on a daily chart. You know, so it'll be funny if this actually does play out and then it maybe snacks around here and then maybe it runs it up. Maybe it'll run it back up like $2 or something. So yeah, I'll be waiting for that. Yeah, I think it's worth it, man. I think it's worth like something that low, you know. But look, if I was participating, like don't sell stuff that's like really cheap now for that, you know. So if you have a stable coin spare, if you have anything, yeah, if you have any like maybe BTC or ETH, you can peel off a bit on it and punt on it. I'm sure you can buy it on a DEX. I think you can. So if you're curious as well, what you'll do is, right, so you'll go to, just how you search for it, right? Go to CoinGecko, you type in Mantra, right? Just say you can search this any coin, okay? And then we can go down and then you can see where is it available. So you have an Ethereum logo here. So yes, you will be able to buy this on Ethereum, on like, you know, on any just pretty much DEX. If you remember, another big destruction that we saw, friends, was Rune. Do you remember Rune? Rune is down daily, down 90% from the top. But Rune BTC, let's have a look at Rune BTC. Remember, Rune is Thorchain. It went down here and it's, yes, doing this. This stuff might take a bit, You never know. It might like have a little failed rally thing, rally here. Everyone thinks it's dead. It might do something at the end. Maybe. Okay, just because the cycle 2 has a DEX chain, I don't know. You know what I mean? When it comes to these. Yeah, we have to do research when it comes to these because like, it's just like with pDAI, right? That's what I've done is the biggest gift if this works out. Because I literally, it's highest value content, man. Like everyone says something's dead, super discount, and I've like made a case for why it's alive. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying like why it could be alive. That's just, man, that's huge. I mean, friend, the whole PulseChain community gave it the gravestone emoji here. Not here on the actual 0 point, here. Everyone could have bought here. They literally gave it the gravestone emoji here. So from here to 1 cent is 37x. That's wild, man. That's wild. From here to 1 cent. 37x up to the high would be back 125x, man. And that's not even $1. Don't even worry about $1 if it gets there. So that's why it pays to do your research, right? But yeah, you got to know what to look for. And also it takes some bravery. Just like this, right? Ethereum futures still, friends, it has open interest, record high. Do you think people are longing or shorting Ethereum? The whole industry is fading it, man. They're going into PUI. They're going into Solana. They're literally touching everything but Ethereum. The Ethereum ETF sucks ass. They're buying Bitcoin on leverage. They're not touching Ethereum, man. It's kind of funny how Glasschode and all these other mainstream media, everybody's longing Ethereum. They're all... Look at the ratios. The ratios don't lie. Forget what you know on Twitter. Forget everybody else, okay? Ethereum wrecked against Bitcoin. Ethereum wrecked against Solana. Ethereum wrecked dominance. Literally everything in Ethereum is being trashed. Not a single one positive thing about ETH. And they're trying to tell me, oh, everyone's longing it. Who writes this stuff, bro? Who writes this stuff, you know? Good. Okay, you know what? You're going to have to learn the hard way. You will learn. Life teaches you many lessons. You can learn the easy way or the hard way. I like to learn the easy way, okay? These people love learning the hard way, don't they? I also put this post here, friends. This was actually before we started dipping down. Feels like another fake World War III event is brewing. Israel and Iran go boom, boom. Liquidate James Wynn under 106K and then up only, question mark. So This is funny. Bitcoin was around 108K here, and we started like doing the like little sinking stuff down the jittery action, which is interesting. I also want to show you as well. If we're looking at this chart, friends, and just expectations, these daily things, just mentally, you now know. Okay, if there is some timed universe event that something comes here, wipe everyone out, we expect up only after that point, and then we continue the friendship and the kindness. Now I'm gonna crack on with some amazing news, and first I'm gonna have to pump it. Because you deserve a pump like me. All right. Centralized entities now own over 30% of Bitcoin's circulating supply, with institutional holdings surging 10x since 2015, according to Gemini's latest report. So centralized entities own 30% of Bitcoin's circulating supply. Okay. Wow, man, that's big. That's big. So yes, that's interesting how it's all pretty much, that's just how society works, man. Everything does the 80-20 Pareto principles and stuff out here. But yeah, we've got to make a distinction if you're new to crypto. Ownership and control of the network, okay, they're two separate things in crypto, okay? If you own all the tokens, so here's, for example, if you imagine there was a city where there was a trillionaire, and the trillionaire owned 95% of all the businesses in there, okay? They own 95% of the businesses, and the population has 10 million, yeah. Well, in crypto, because we set it up with code and maths, even though the trillionaire in our world owns all the share of the city, which is like owning share of Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever, they don't get to vote with all that money, okay? They still only represent one vote. That's pretty much it. But you know how the real world works, right? You get rich enough, you end up bribing people. That's what the government does, the media. They end up manipulating people. They just tell you what you want to hear. They create fake stories, maybe do some Mossad sprinkling and stuff out here. So that's what ends up happening. So they fool the population into stuff. Oh, fool, marketing, manipulating, branding, whatever the hell you want. So messaging, all these other words out here. But that's just a distinction to make out here. So like pretty much all these entities, even though they own 30% of Bitcoin, they can't go, say, force the miners and everybody else to like change the inflation rate. But then like you'd be pretty naive to think that Blackrock couldn't get the whole world to move into their BTC. They could, of course. Like I told you, friends, be careful what you wish for, because we're going to onboard a lot of normies into crypto even more this cycle, and they're going to go buy the top. Right, but they've outnumbered us 5-1. So what happens when there's the big unwind of the Bitcoin Treasury bubble? What's going to happen? And Bitcoin's price goes down. These people put their life savings into it. They're going to go to the government and Blackrock and they say, oh, ban this, change the inflation rate, fix it. You know what I mean? Government's got full control. So, it is what it is. But luckily, this is future narrative stuff for us. We don't need to worry about that now. Right now, we are watching the bubble. We're embracing the bubble. We are helping to blow the bubble up bigger, so you can retire. Japan's ANAP holdings have boosted its Bitcoin stash by 50 BTC in 2 days, part of a new strategy targeting 1,000 BTC by August 2025. So we're starting to see more Japanese Pokemon Island stuff and everything coming out here. All these Bitcoin treasury bubble things, which is happening. Everyone's accumulating, put on the balance sheet. So we are not at dangerous levels yet. These are all super safe. They're all like just putting cash in. But perhaps when Bitcoin gets to 250K, right, something amazing, they're not going to be doing cash anymore. That's what's going to happen. They're going to like all say they're going to dilute their shares to do it directly, or they're going to go get leverage. They're going to borrow in a company to go do it. So that's probably what we will see in here. We're not seeing any of that now. That's why I'm confident, right? But not sure, but like, no, still confident. Still got that fear that it's over, but still confident that we have plenty more to go. This is just healthy price discovery. Tether have acquired a 32% stake in gold royalty firm Elemental Altus as it doubles down on Bitcoin and gold-backed financial infrastructure. So Tether, USD trash. Okay, they have the stablecoin that gives you no yield. So they're using their yield now, because if you hold Tether, you're literally You are a fincuck. You're one of those financial dominatrix dudes that girls on OnlyFans go and seek. You're chatting to a hairy Indian Prakesh guy who's literally typing for the girl, working for literally like 80 cents an hour, and they're talking to you, telling you they want to do naughty things to you. You don't know. It's literally a hairy, sweaty Indian dude in an internet cafe. Okay, that's literally what you're talking to, and you're buying this girl like, new panties or whatever. So those people... Okay, that is the same personality type as somebody holding Tether right now, offering no yield. Tether takes your yield. They made $6 billion off you cucks last year. And they're buying Bitcoin and buying gold with it, okay? So they're taking your money. It's funny, Tether tell the Bitcoin Maxis, okay, because why? Bitcoin Maxis are invested in Tether ICO. Yeah, so Tether said, don't worry, we're doing a Trojan Horse on the US government. How stupid are you, bro? Tether is the Trojan Horse on Bitcoin and crypto. Tether is taking your yield. The US government prints it for free. They're like, bro, thanks for all the money. Here, take some shitty yield. It's kind of funny how they spin it. The US government literally mints out of thin air a $100 billion bond auction, okay? And then they pay you back, $4 billion per year. And then Tether's like, whoa, we're scamming the government. No, bro. You gave them $100 billion. Right, actually 150 billion. You gave them 150 billion and they're giving you 6 billion back. It's like you signed up for one of those Elon Musk Bitcoin giveaways. Send 3 Bitcoin to this wallet and you'll get 6 in return. They're literally doing that. And then they go and tell the Bitcoin Maxis, don't worry, we're Trojan horsing the US government fiat system. They're so man. Oh, man. Look, the good thing is we have clarity and we can see this so you don't get trapped at the top. You know what I mean? Roca Negra have set their sights on 50 billion in crypto assets under management by 2030, aiming to be the world's largest crypto asset manager. Roca Negra playing a big part with crypto adoption. They have been buying Ethereum. And yes, the ETF big players, they've actually been selling BTC, buying it. They're actually going long on ETH BTC right now. Interesting. Friendly reminder, 93% of all Bitcoin is already mined now. So I think it opens it up for an interesting discussion. A reminder, just because you make something scarce, or some say scarce, if you're from Ireland, it doesn't necessarily mean it's valuable. Okay, so for example, friend, do you have mouth bones? Yes. Our mouth bones, these things, okay, they're scarce to you. Yeah, but, how much would I pay for your mouth bone? Nothing. I feel sorry for you, maybe $3. You know what I mean? So your mouth bones are scarce, but it doesn't really mean someone's going to pay $140,000 for it in the future. Okay, so scarcity, it's a nice narrative thing, but it's not the be all and end all. Okay, so I mean, even look at the DeBees diamond scam, right? So diamonds were artificially scarce. They just don't oversupply the market. Okay, so but you need more of that. That's why you need people to believe. The believers stay there no matter what, right? Making it scarce helps, right? But it's not everything. Alipay owner Ant International to seek stablecoin licenses in Hong Kong and Singapore as new rules take effect in August. Once again, StableCoin SuperCycle. This is the PulseChain prices today. Just reverted everything yesterday, down 10%. Because of Bitcoin. It is really Bitcoin and Ethereum, the market's jittery. I don't know, man, it's very frustrated, man. How much longer is it going to be? I don't know, man. Maybe by the end of this month, whatever. We've been saying next month. We've been saying that for like 3 years, so we'll see. President Trump says China's deal is great. So we all are pretty much over the whole fatigue of the tariffs and everything out here, aren't we? USDC has now gone live on Ripple's XRP ledger. So they call it XRP ledger. It's a chain, but it's not really a chain. They write ledger on there. It's centralized. Okay, there's literally one button. It's literally just one button. They can turn everything off there. And they can rerun transactions. I think they have. So it's most likely, friends, no one's using XRP chain as much. They have very, very low volume. I mean, just to prove the point, no one's using the XRP chain. They have 150 billion market cap, but they've done $6 million of volume on chain. Okay, so no one's using it. How much did PulseChain do? 20 million. PulseChain has 500 million market cap, 0.5 billion, and it's doing 3 times more activity than XRP, which has 300x bigger market cap. So if you want to know how many people I think XRP has, to do the square root of 300, you have a 17 multiplier. So there are 17 times more people in the world who own XRP than PulseChain. 17 times more, and PulseChain's doing more activity. See what I mean? So what happened? Obviously, Ripple, friends, because they dump on the community, they get the 6% inflation every year. They have paid Circle to deploy USDC there, right? They paid money, just like they bribed, Kamala Crappers with 10 million and stuff. But if you're in XRP, that's what you want them to do. They're like, hey, if you're dumping on the community, go and get sponsorships and partnerships and do stuff like that. So that's part of the deal. So you'd want them to do stuff like that. ChainLink, JP Mosquito's Kinex, and Ondo Finance complete first cross-chain DVP settlement between a permissioned payments network and a public real-world assets blockchain. So ChainLink is now in its cycle 2 of the narratives. You have Oracle's cycle 2 stuff. So it's good for one more big pump. It's part of DeFi as well. DeFi was cycle 1 last cycle. Now it's going to be cycle 2. We've got one big last pump. Real world assets as well is with Chainlink. That's why Chainlink might breach that 100 billion market cap number. Hopefully it goes to 130 billion, which would be about a $200 link. Hopefully it does that because Chainlink is part of real world assets. They might have its first cycle narrative boost on it out here. Just have a quick look at the chart of Chainlink. We have its chart here right now. This is Chainlink. It's doing this whole, this is typical standard stuff like, oh no, we're going to go up, and then there's one more scam, and then maybe the full blow off. We'll see. Or maybe it does this, comes up, comes back here, and comes back down. So just to let you know as well, Chainlink is $14. If it got to, let's put on a logarithmic, $160 here is 100 billion market cap. Okay, that would be 100. So actually, I hate these unfilled history charts with Chainlink. There you go, and everything else out here. There you go. That's much better to see. So Chainlink out here, $160. This is the $100 billion number. He hopefully hits up there. Maybe it squeezes up a bit. We'll see. Be very scary up there though, because if you're wrong, it's a long way down for everything, including Chainlink. Now, have you heard of this man, President Pump? President Pump, huh? President Pump, friends, said they will create the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. They've created it now. They said, but they're not done yet. And he says we are going to get clear and simple market frameworks for the US of A and crypto dominance, which is beautiful. Thank you, Mr. President Pump. And then he also said, I'm not going to fire Jay Powell. So this is President Pump here. I'm not going to fire him. Why? Look, I think Besant said to him, look, bro, if you fire him, it's probably going to be seen as negative by the market and they're going to dump our bonds. So we don't want to do so that's why, friends, they will do volatility on anything. They don't want to make their bonds volatile. They're scared of that. Because that's the US government's income. The US government's income is they mint bonds out of thin air and then hand it out, and then Tether buys it with your money. Yeah, and then Tether gets the yield. And Tether goes and makes themselves rich. That's how the game works. That's why we made crypto in the first place, right? So Trident is going to raise $500 million for a corporate XRP Treasury, which is interesting to see more companies venture out of the Bitcoin standard. Remember there was that one country, Bhutan, I think they were buying BNB, but then we found out that the politicians, fans, they're raiding it. They're all dumping. So remember, Bhutan had the most Bitcoin per GDP in the world. It was enormous, 30% of the country's GDP is Bitcoin. Yeah, it turns out all the government officials, they've been paying themselves for the past year and a half. All the Bitcoin's been gone. They've been paying themselves enormous salaries, like 50,000 US per employee, which is enormous for the country over there. Huge, right? It's like everybody in your politician government, they're everyone's paying each other a $300,000 salary for a year and a half. Yeah, very, very sad. So Bhutan's... sorry if you're from Bhutan land of Bhutan. Beautiful country. Okay, I haven't been there. Just looks cute and beautiful. Look at this. Looks cute. Got the cute temples here. This looks like when you go here, you're you're level 7 of the game, right? There's some if you swim through the river, there's probably secret items under the bridge, or side quests and stuff out here. There's always, in all the Japanese games, there's always a big dragon serpent that's lurking in one of these lakes as well if you played Sekiro. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about Bhutan. Unfortunately though, if the descendants of everyone here, the children of Bhutan, ain't going to have a Bitcoin treasury. Sad. So, see, don't rely on the government, bro. Buy it yourself. Buy it yourself. Screw them. Shopify has partnered with Coinbase and Stripe to roll out USDC stablecoin payments starting June. Once again, friends, say it with me again. Nipples stay pegged. StableCoin SuperCycle. Every single day, stablecoins, 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 stablecoins. Bang, 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 bang. Richard Hart got it right from 2021. I don't care if you think he's fat. I don't care if you think he lives on top of a sandwich shop, which is actually a genius move, by the way. I don't care. He was right. Wow. Stablecoin SuperCycle. Okay. Take your bet. What stablecoin do you want to buy on PulseChain? Right? I like mine a bit unstable. Right? So pDAI is obviously very clear contender for that. I mean, you can go buy the other ones for $1 and see what happens, but no one's interested, you know? So that's another thing. Chinese public company DDC Enterprise has purchased 38 more Bitcoin. So beautiful. We're starting to see everybody's doing the Bitcoin treasury. Remember, it's okay. Oh, we'll buy it. These are all healthy, smart, strong. They're all still early. Yeah, they're all still early. It will move into, oh crap, territory later on. Okay, it will move into that. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know what term it's going to be. I don't know what type of leverage, but when it appears, we'll see it. It'll probably break headlines. Okay. And we'll be like, oh crap, I don't think these guys are believers at all. The US House, not to be confused with the US Garage, has officially passed the DOGE Cuts. So this is why Elon, that's why it's been a big disappointment. Friends, after all those cuts, they went after all the people rorting the systems, the pensions, people who are 150 years old still getting payments. They've slashed $9.3 billion. Bro, the debt is 36 trillion. You slashed 9 billion after all of that. Friends, they got Elon Musk and he put like 10 workers in and they plugged all of the government systems into AI. Yeah, they literally did everything. You could only slash 9 billion. Crypto's going up, bro. They have to print money. There's nothing there. And like, as you've been watching, friends, my highest value UFO content, okay, literally the only light-colored, happy UFO themed videos in all of the YouTubes, okay, because all of them are like dark, scary, spooky, red eyes, and I am the clear pill approach. It is what it is. Aliens live with us. Get over it. We're probably the aliens, or probably here before us. So I have this clear pill approach, and Catherine Fitz went on to Tucker Carlson, used to work at the White House, did you work for the president, tracked everything, and there is $21 trillion laundered missing. 21 trillion. Now, here's the thing. They could put $1 trillion, get back 900 billion somewhere, but like launder only 10%, launder 100 billion. They could do that. Doesn't matter, bro. 21 trillion went into a tornado cash. What's that tornado cash? The wars, Department of Defense, Department of Energy, pretty much everything UFO black budget related. Pretty much that we know of. So, like, 9 billion, Doge. 9 billion, not going to cut it, bro. They can't stop it, man. That's why, look, man, just be careful. I'm just saying be careful because the government have every incentive to print and debase you and to lower your life expectancy. Yeah. Like I said, friends, if you owed someone down your street $2 million, yeah, you know, if you owed someone down the street $20, you're like, oh, crap, I got to pay him back. Okay. But if you owed them $2.5 million, $3 million, $10 million, okay, you might start thinking, one way to get rid of this debt is to literally just kill the dude. Okay. Just think about the incentives. By the way, there are life expectancy reductions from zombie virus vaccine stuff. There have been that, which is just weird because during the zombie virus, I was making content on Twitter. I was telling everyone. Now, actually, I wasn't on Twitter then, but in Telegrams and stuff out here, remember box binding? I was saying it's really weird how the government needs to pay off the debt and suddenly a world virus comes out to kill a lot of old people who were owed the debt payment and they die prematurely. It was, you know, it's totally random. You little blue pill cuck sitting in your hotel cuck chair. Totally random. Oh, wow. So random. Blue pill cucks. Okay. Coinbase has partnered with American Express to launch Coinbase One Card, offering 4% Bitcoin back on all purchases. So I don't have a credit card, friends. I know probably a lot of you do. I just don't like credit cards just because it's too tempting to just go, spend money and stuff out here. Probably debit cards are better because you spend your own money, but I want to see more of this. We want to see more of the cards come out and get people access to spending their stablecoins and everything out here, confirming StableCoin SuperCycle even more because everybody gets into crypto, right? That's what you want to see, right? Because like, because you got to think, okay, it's peanut brain, okay? What we actually need to do is train normies to see their portfolio number of the card or any crypto wallet that's linked to their real world stuff so they can start seeing the number here. And so they can see that little green up arrow where it goes plus 2%. So I want people to see like $5,000 goes up to like 5,200. I want people to see that because when you have that, now their brain is trained. They know what the statement looks like. And then all of us on Twitter and YouTube will show statements of people who have used that card to go buy degenerate stuff. And now they're not up like 2%. They're up to 1,000%. So they don't have, say, 5,000 in their account. They have like 150,000. And so that starts making the normies go, oh my gosh, I've been playing Pokemon wrong the whole time. You can actually catch the Pokemon. I'm still on a Rattata. When normies figure that out, bank. Now they're going to use their stable coins and start participating in the business cycle upthrust, where they're starting to feel more confident about, oh yeah, this person made it, everything's great, crypto's adopted, everyone's got a stablecoin wallet, Blackrock likes it, Larry Fink. Do you see what I mean? That is how we start the price discovery up, and it eventually moves into what we call euphoria, which is misallocation of capital, and yeah, where everyone starts doing the nice juicy stuff out here. So there you go, baby dolls. Where to from here? This is Bitcoin skitzing around. We're still green on the weekly super trend, aren't we? So the bull market is still on. There might be one more little jittery around here. Jams wins liquidations, 104,000. Maybe some pre-programmed stuff. Don't cheat. Just warning, just in case. If we thrust up, also, just be careful as well. Just in case we do thrust up, it might be one of those fake outs. But I don't think we're going to thrust up now. We already did the whole, and it's kind of funny, man, these things. Look at this. We just came back around to this retrace out here, actually quite high on this. So it's actually very, very strong. That's actually nice to see. It went up and punched above the 78.6. So yeah, hanging around here. The next phase is going to be very telling, isn't it? How far we go. Are we going to get extended cycle and everything out here? Don't worry about that. We're waiting for euphoria. Believe in something, like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you in the next one.